The angle of depression is an angle between the line of sight when the observer looks down on a horizontal. So in this picture, we've got a lighthouse, or Cape Lookout, I think this would be. Cape Lookout's off on a little island. It's one of our lighthouses in North Carolina. You have to take a little ferry boat to get to it, and then you're off on an island, and so you can travel up to the top. All right, so here I am, great picture of me here, and I am looking down out into the ocean at my ferry boat. My ferry boat's on its way to the island, and I need to figure out, okay, how far is this ferry boat away? All right, so just drawing my picture here. So I am looking down onto the top of this ferry boat. So this is my line of sight. Now, my horizontal is still going to be that parallel line that's parallel to the ground. Okay, so this is not your angle of depression because this is looking up. This is still your angle of elevation. However, my horizontal doesn't have to go here. You see, your horizontal line can be anywhere you want it to be. So if I draw a horizontal line up here as well, then these two lines are parallel with each other. So this can also be my horizontal. But now my right triangle is here. So line of sight, horizontal, what I've done now is I've created this angle of depression that is now located here. So here's my angle of depression. This is my angle of elevation. And what's going to be true about these two angles is they're going to be congruent to each other. So the angle of elevation is congruent to the angle of depression. And the reason why is we have congruent right triangles because they share the hypotenuse, and they're with the parallel lines, you've got alternate interior angles, so that's really the reason why the angles are congruent to each other, but the two right triangles are also going to be congruent to each other. So don't mistake your angle of elevation for your angle of depression, because even though the angles are congruent to each other, when the hardest part of these problems is setting up your pictures and getting the correct angle that they're talking about, because that angle that they're talking about also is going to depend on which trig ratio you're going to use and how you label your triangle.